Hi, I'm Ellen, and tonight we're going to talk about clutter. And what's interesting about clutter is you think of the TV shows, The Clean Sweep, and there's several shows, and they're fascinating, aren't they? You watch them, and there's all this mess, and it seems like in just 60 minutes, everything's perfect, and it's beautiful, and you're sitting there going, yeah, that's great. It's like watching HGTV. It's a mess, it's beautiful, 60 minutes, you know, beautiful. But what I find fascinating about clutter is my biggest clutter is right here. I have a cluttered mind. My mind is cluttered, and sometimes my spirit's cluttered, and sometimes my house is cluttered. And we're going to talk about all those different things. And I'm starting with this article, A Clutter Too Deep for Mere Bins and Shelves. And the reason I want to start with this one is because I had the realization that I know I'll just put everything in bins, because then I'll still have it. Let me tell you how many bins I have. First of all, I'm how old? 56 years old. I have every card, every letter, every Christmas card I've ever received in my entire life. I'm a kind of a popular person. I have a lot of cards. I have a lot of letters. I have every photograph, which click, 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 click. Are they in beautiful albums? Are they digital? No, they're in bins. I probably have 150 bins. Bins. And the thing is, I really thought about that as I was doing this preparation. Those bins validated who I was as a person. I am valuable. Look at all my bins. Look at all the people who care about me. I'm a great person. Look at all, they love me. Look at, you don't think people love me? Look at these cards. 1960, well, just a second. I have playbills from every play I have ever seen. I've seen a lot of plays. Let me just talk a little bit about it. It's not a bin problem. It's not a house problem. It's a head problem. If I don't fundamentally change my behavior. One time I said, you know what, I'm going to get rid of some of these cards. I'm going to go through them. Oh, you pick up the first one. Oh, Karen gave me that, and blah, blah, blah. Oh, remember that? 2 hours later, I'm on maybe card number 10. So what's the solution? Do I just throw them all away? What everyone needs in their life is a Maureen. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that later on. But people who go through emotional trauma, depression, pain, grief, and without laying my life on the table for everyone and God knows who watches the blog, I've had some emotional trauma. I think we all have in certain ways, some more than others. And I think a lot of times when you have weight, mental, depression, too much clutter, it goes right back to that emotional trauma. And if you don't deal with it, it'll deal with you. And it doesn't make it any better to put it in a bin. It's still there. I don't need to justify who I am. And you know what a lot of older people say, and I'm getting older, they say, my poor kids. My poor kids are going to have to go through this junk. And they're not going to care that Karen gave me that card in 1968. They're going to be like, Karen who? All right, we need to think about that. Also, when you cannot find things, when there is the black hole of Calcutta. And my son Vince said, Mom, we were learning about Calcutta the other day, and I asked the substitute teacher about that black hole, and he looked at me like I was being a smart aleck, because I say it all the time. I go, where is it? It's in the black hole of Calcutta. The thing is, if you can't find things, that's a problem. If you're chronically late because you can't find things, if you can't go walking because you don't know where your sneakers are, that is a problem. And where do we deal with it? First, we take it to God. And we have to say, remember that movie, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore? Network, remember that? I love that line. You have to say, I'm not going to live like this anymore. I'm not going to hold on to my stuff. I'm not going to hold on to my weight. Now, Maureen and I and Bob went to Charmaine's house. I had no problem with Charmaine's stuff. I was like, get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it. How cruel of me, who has all these cards that I have had my entire life, and her house looked so much better when we got done with it, but it was emotional for her. It wasn't it, Maureen, it was emotional. Now here's someone who's fighting a serious illness. Of course there was some clutter, of course there was this. I have great compassion, but boy, it was easy for me. So what you need is other people to help you, to distance you from that, to say, Ellen, let it go. Let it go. And even Pat said to me, well, Ellen, your house is in a mess. It looks so nice for the wedding. That's because I spent weeks putting everything in bins. There's a whole wall. They're just walls of bins. Ask my husband. He's married to me. All right. We need to clear the body and the body of the weight clutter and the house of the clutter because we need to get rid of this clutter. Once we get rid of things, and here's another thing that we all do. We say, what if I need it? My grandmother lived through the Depression. String. Ever have the grandmother keeps the strings, the rubber bands, the paper clips? I have so many paper clips now because people keep buying them for me, but I still say, well, I better keep those paper clips. You know, I have everyone putting their paper clips there. I've probably got 2,000 at home. Once you get rid of things, like another thing I have is books. I probably have how many thousands of books at home, honey? I have 2 walls.
You have bins.
I have bins. There's things called libraries. They haven't gotten rid of them yet. And I heard that if you go there, you could actually get a book. That they will let you have one, and I don't have to get it. So we need, and I like the next article because she quotes the first article. That's how powerful it is. We have to decide, I'm not going to live this way. I am a valuable person if I get rid of every card that anyone ever gave me. It doesn't mean I wasn't loved. I was loved with the cards or without them. Now, what I think I might do is pick a card for each year. Maybe have an award. The card of 68, the card of 70. Wish me luck, everyone. Wish me luck. But I can tell you one thing. Losing weight has empowered me. Getting closer to God has empowered me. Now I can take that power. I know this is a fascinating subject for all of us, and we're going to stay together on this. Take that power that God's given me and use it in other areas of my life. Because I'll tell you something. When you clean an area, don't you sometimes just look at it? Like when Maureen got done organizing I told you this before, she organized my towel closet. And I would walk by it and open the door just to admire it. It looked so nice, didn't it? All the shampoos were together, all the toothpaste. God is not a God of chaos. He is a God of order. I went to a friend's house once and she had no knickknacks. Everything was just clean and nice and organized. My nickname, I sell on eBay, is Syracuse Angel. So I started collecting angels. I have probably 300 angel figurines. Do I need 300 angel figurines? Here's another thing. I have a formal dining room with a china cabinet, with all these little knickknacks, and I have all this good china. It's in there. It's all, because when I grew up, rich people had that. I would go to their house and they had a formal dining room. Oh, look at all their plates are up on the side. Oh, they have Waterford candlesticks. God is my witness. When I grow up, I'm going to have a nice dining room. I'm going to have a china cabinet. I'm going to have a curio cabinet. I'm not a china cabinet person. I want to pull it all out of there, put a game table in there so when my friends come over, we can play games. Redefine who you are. I'm not a good china person. We've never eaten on our wedding china. Ever.
No.
Never. Never. And why do I have it? I am oh look at everyone sitting there going, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I am a person, I am a down-to-earth person who's going to pull out the china cabinet and put a game table, redefine who you are. We're going to stop right there, Bob. And the